Hello students of 7th standard. We are starting with 6th chapter, that is administrative system and architecture during the medieval age. Okay, what do you mean by administrative system? Administrative system means management of the affairs of the kingdom. How the kingdom has to be managed, okay, that is known as administrative system. So we are going to learn about the administrative system. And next we are going to learn about architecture. What is architecture? Architecture is the art and technique of designing the buildings, that is known as architecture. So we are going to learn about architecture, some monuments also which were built during the time of medieval age. What is medieval age? We know the period between 7th century to 12th century, that is known as medieval period. Okay, the chapter starts with the Mir Qasim's Lok Dairo, which is given on page number 29. Okay, Mir Qasim's Lok Dairo. Now what is Lok Dairo? Lok Dairo means musical performance where people gather to listen. Now this was very much common during that time, and still also it is common in villages where people in the evening time get together and listen about the songs. Okay, now those songs were religious also and they were social also. They were delivered, they were delivering messages through these songs. So that was Lok Dairo, which was very common during that time. Even in cities also many a times Lok Dairo are held. Okay, so the chapter starts with Mir Qasim's Lok Dairo, which was organized in the village square, which is known as Chowk. And the entire village had gathered there at night. Some children had already taken their position in the front row. Patriotic songs were also being sung at the Lok Dairo along with the folk songs. Folk songs we know. Folk songs are the songs which are passed from one generation to another generation. Okay. Utsav liked the Palya recital, song sung in the honor of martyrs very much. The next day he asked his grandfather, what does Palya mean? Now what is Palya? That is what Utsav is asking his grandfather. Palya means a memorial constructed in honor of martyrs who sacrificed their life for the welfare of the people. They are the one who had given away their life for the well-being of the people. So they were given that respect during that time, and for that reason Palya was constructed. Here in the picture you can see this is Palya. It is a stone structure and this was worshipped during the special occasions. Okay, so this type of memorial, it was very common during that time. His grandfather told him, a Palya is the memorial commemorating the heroes. It is a tribute to martyrs who have sacrificed their life for the protection and enduring the welfare of the people. These Palyas are worshipped during festivals and songs are sung as homage to these martyrs. This is the culture of our country. So these are, Palyas are being decorated and songs are sung during the special occasions. Now Utsav and his friends requested his grandfather to, give more information about the culture of our country. So the grandfather said that, he brings the pictures and show it to him. That see, can you see the temples in these pictures? It seems as if these stones have their own stories to narrate. Isn't it? Today I shall tell you about the civilization and culture of the Rajput age. So grandfather is, giving information about the architecture monuments which were built during those times. So let us start with the chapter. The chapter starts like this, that after the 7th century, after 7th century there were so many Rajput dynasties which were ruling in India. We have learned earlier that, there were so many dynasties which were ruling in North India. There were so many dynasties which were ruling in South India. So India was ruled by different type of dynasties, Rajput dynasties. Now, as and when the king changed, there was some change in the administration. Okay, there was not a major change in the administration. According to the king, there was some change which was brought into the system. Okay, when you shift from one class to another class, you have a new class teacher. Okay, so that teacher, the system remains the same of the school, but that teacher has different way to handle the class. Okay, the way she works, how she works, all these things are different. So there was some change in the administration during that time. Okay, now when we talk about the kingship, okay, now kingship was hereditary. So when the father used to rule, after him His elder son only used to be the king. That was the culture of our country. Okay, that was the way how kingship was there. So it was hereditary. Hereditary means passing to your elder son. Okay, now other way of being a kingship, other way how the kings were made, that was by the common people and ministers. Common people, the people of the villages and the ministers, they used to select or elect their king. Okay, so take for an example, King Yashaskara. King Yashaskara was the king of Kashmir and he was selected by the Brahmin group. It was not hereditary to him. So he was selected by the Brahmin group and he was made the king of Kashmir. In the same way, when we talk about King Kumar Pal of Gujarat, he did not get the kingship as his hereditary, but he was elected by the councils of ministers. Councils means group of ministers. Okay, so group of ministers selected him as the king of Gujarat. Now let us talk about the ministers. There were so many ministers which were appointed by the king. Okay, now these ministers were given different areas, different field where they have to work. So it was very easy for the king for the management of the kingdom. And people suffered due to the wrong administrative policy. This used to happen many a times. Now this continued till the time administrative policies were changed or the kingship was changed. So the villagers also had to suffer due to the wrong policies made by the ministers and the king. Now let us go through the administrative system during the time of medieval age. See, administrative system we know. Okay, now during that time in the villages, Panchayat was the one who was taking care of the administration. It means whatever are the needs of the people, whatever wants are there of the people, okay, what are the requirements. So Panchayat was working for the welfare of the people during that time. And the head of the Panchayat was known as Mukhi or Sarpanch. Now, what was the role of the Panchayat? The role of the Panchayat was to protect and deliver the justice to the people of villages. So we can understand that justice was given by the Panchayat. So the work of justice was done by them. Okay. Then even today when we talk about, we have Gram Panchayats. Okay. So Gram Panchayat, the elderly people, what they do? They guide the people of the villages. Whatever problems are there, they discuss with the Gram Panchayat people or the elderly people in the village. Okay, and they give them the right guidance. Okay. Now, the income during that time, when we are talking about the administration, okay, then we definitely have to talk about the income. The source of income during that time was land revenue. That was 6% of the cultivation. Cultivation यानी खेती. तो जितनी खेती होती थी उसका 6% राजा को देना होता था. Okay, and other taxes were also levied by the people of the villages. Other taxes consisted of ports and at the octroi point. So whenever the goods used to come from the other part of the nation, okay, when they entered the town, these taxes were collected and given to the king. Next, let us talk about the literature. Okay, what is literature? Literature means writings which you will find out during that time that included novels, plays and poetry. Okay, these things we are going to learn which were during that time. Okay, plays means drama, जिसको हम नाटक भी कहते हैं. तो बहुत सारे लिटरेचर उस जमाने में लिखे गए थे. And those were related to other kinds of literature as well as religious literature. Okay, now the religious writings when we talk about, there were different various languages which were used to describe about their thoughts. And those were in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. These were the languages which were used during that time to write the literature. Okay, now what is Sanskrit? Sanskrit is a language of God. And what is Prakrit? The meaning of Prakrit is natural. Prakriti जिसे कहते हैं. Okay, so the natural language which was used by the local people, that is known as Prakrit. So Sanskrit was a language of God and Prakrit was used by the local people of the villages. Okay, now these languages were used for writing the literature. Many scholars were patronaged during that time. Patronage means people were given support. Okay, these people were given support by the king so that they could explore in their field. Whatever writing, whatever they want to do, research they want to do, they were given support by the king. So scholars were patronaged by the king during that time. Now let us talk about various literatures which were written during that time. The very first one we have Shishupal Vadu, okay, which was written by famous Sanskrit poet Ma. Shishupal Vadu. Here Shishupal is the cousin of Lord Krishna and Vad means killing. So in this Shishupal Vad you will find the incident of killing of Shishupal by Lord Krishna. Okay, this is a part of Mahabharata. You will find this incident in Mahabharata also. So that was written by poet Ma. Another scholar, Sanskrit poet we had, poet Harsh, who had written Naishad Charita. Now Naishad Charita is a poem about Nal and Damayanti. King Nal was the king of Naishad kingdom. So this Naishad Charita, Naishad is coming from the kingdom, name of the kingdom of the king Nal. Okay, so this is about Naishad Charita, which tells about the description of Nal and Damayanti. The king Nal married Damayanti. In that it is given. Next one we have songs written by Radha and Gopis in lyrical manner. There were so many songs which are written by Radha and Gopis. Okay, the Krishna Bhakti when we say about. Okay, those all songs, bhajans were written in the lyrical manner. That is song wise in a poem format. Okay. Next we have biography and achievements. Biography means when someone is writing story about someone's life, that is biography. So many biographies were written during that time, and the achievements of the king also. Whatever the achievements of the king was there, okay, how he used to rule his kingdom, all these description was written in a poetic manner. Then we have Sri Hemchandracharya. Okay, he was a scholar, okay, and he was given a post of Acharya. Okay, so this Hemchandracharya, he had written Kumarpal Charita. Now this Kumarpal Charita was a book about the life of the Solanki king of Gujarat. Okay, so the king, name of the king was Kumarpal, and Charitra means character. So in this Kumarpal Charita you will find about the characters of the king Kumarpal. Okay, next one we have Siddhahem Shabdanushashan. See, these two books were written by Sri Hemchandracharya. Okay, Siddhahem Shabdanushashan was a grammar book. Now here if you see carefully, Siddh means Siddharaj Jaisi. Okay, he was also one of the kings during that time who ruled over Gujarat. And Hem means he himself. Okay, so Siddhahem. Shabdanushashan. Shabda means words and Shashan means rule. So here in this book if you see here words are administering in this book, and this became the very famous book during this time. When this book was received by the king, he was very happy, and the procession of this book was taken out. Procession means julus nikalna. Okay, where people go together and procession was taken out in the village. This book Siddhahem Shabdanushashan was kept on the elephant, and the king and the other people were walking barefoot on the ground. Okay, so this importance was given to the book during that time. It means knowledge always rules. Okay, that is what we come to know from this. Okay, next one we have Bhavbhuti. Bhavbhuti had written Uttaram Charita. Uttaram Charita. Now if you see carefully, Uttar, this book comprises of the events of Uttarkand of Valmiki Ramayana. Okay, Sri Valmiki ji had written a Ramayana and in that we have Uttarkand. So that portion you will find in this book, Uttaram Charita. Okay, next one we have Pandit Narayan. He also wrote a book about Hitopdesh, which is based on Panchatantra. Panchatantra books we know, it's an ancient Indian tales, okay, and in which we have so many moral-based stories. Okay, so that is what was written by Pandit Narayan. Even other books were also there. Okay, here we have instruction given on page number 31. We have Virshakha Datta who had written Mudra Rakshasa. Then we have Kalhar. Okay, he had written Raj Tarangini. Next we have Bilhan who had written Vikramadev chant. Okay, and these all were belonging to medieval era. Okay, so ages back these were written during the time of 7th century to 12th century. And then we have Somdeva also. He had written Katha Sarit Sagar, which became very famous during that time. Then we have Chand Bardai, who had written about Prithviraj Raso. We had learned this earlier in the history chapter, okay, about Chand Bardai. Then we had Meru Tunga, who had written Prabodh Chintamani. Okay, so there were so many literature which were written during that time, and people were patronaged by the king.